I hope your day is full of Pinocchio and Bambi and Dumbo and The Little Mermaid, Cinderella. Dude, it's a Walt Disney classic intro. We have an amazing episode of Shenk for you this week with the one, the only comedian Sam Tripoli. But before we get into this week's episode of Shenk with Sam Tripoli, there's just a few things I want to tell you about. One, I will be at the Brea Improv tonight. That's Wednesday, May 13th. And then I will be at Oxnard Levity Live tomorrow, the 14th, with Kim Congdon, and Josh Potter is featuring. Come out. It's going to be a really fun time. And then House of Comedy in Detroit, the 23rd and 24th of May. And then I will be at Tampa Side Splitters in June, I believe June 28th. And then I'm coming to Fort Worth in July. So get tickets. I'm posting everything on my link tree, which is in my bio on Instagram at Princess Shenk. And then you can find me here every Wednesday on Shenk. For bonus content, you can go to patreon.com/Sara Weinshenk. And then check out my new show that I'm doing with Jam in the Van called Shenk on the Street. It's a really fun show where I go to different conventions and interview all kinds of people. The fish episode just dropped, so go check that out if you haven't. And let's do it. Let's get into this week's episode of Shenk with Sam, guys. Here it is.
Like I go full throttle. Even on my days off, I go full throttle.
Wait, okay, hold on. We got to get into you going full throttle.
We're rolling.
Okay.
We are rolling.
We are rolling. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Shenk. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is the one, the only comedian, Sam Tripoli.
Thanks. Good to be here, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
I'm going to be staring at my... I got two problems
What?
when I sit forward like this. Are my tits rocking? Is my moose knuckle out?
Right now, you're good.
Okay, good.
I'm not saying any
I like
knuckle.
this shot. Moose knuckle. It's just like you have anything on the internet, is it all like tiny bit embarrassing? One person will blow it all up, and you just got to go with it. So I had some moose knuckle rocking on one of my shows recently, and it just became a meme.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's hard.
You just have to block it out, man.
Frank Sinatra got called a mobster once by Don Rickles, and he sent Italian guys to go beat him up. One troll, and he went nuts.
That's fucking crazy.
That's the internet is like unrelenting.
The worst is when it's something you kind of already think, and then you see it.
And then you're like, there it is.
You're like, I was feeling a little fat that day, and someone sees it, calls it out. They're like, not the most flattering angle. Wondering if she's pregnant. I'm like, no, dude, I just had a big lunch.
It's got to be worse for women.
It's horrible.
It is, and I just run with it. Like I get called gay all the time, so I just call myself the John Gotti of the gays.
I like that, though.
I run this shit.
When you say you go full throttle all the time, what do you mean? What is Sam going full throttle?
Like I wake up like at 9 and then I don't stop going till about 1 a.m. in terms of like work. And like whether it's working, I did jujitsu today. My legs are dead.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
How often are you doing jujitsu?
2 to 3 times a week. That's it. At 50, that's all you could do. Anything else, you got dead legs. I love it. I just love the workout. It's fun. When you actually can tap somebody, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
But it is really hard at 52. So I have to take privates so I can just drill it over and over and over again.
I can't believe you're 52. You look great.
Thank you.
That's nuts.
Not drinking really helps.
How long have you not been drinking for?
Probably over 5 years. I haven't done drugs in 4.5.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I feel great. I wake up every morning and go, oh, dude, I feel great. But now I'm just banging Zins all day.
Banging Zins?
Yeah, that's all I do. Do you do Zins at all, guy in the back?
No, I still just smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
Zins make me nauseous.
Well, you got to start with small. You got to go 3s. And then there's
Someone
some
gave me a
1.5.
6. I threw up immediately at the mothership.
I had to pull over. I took a 6 first time. I had to pull over. I go, I'm drunk driving right now.
Yeah, dude.
If they asked me to touch my nose, I couldn't do it.
No, I was twisted from it too. I was like, and I'm something about a woman with a Zin patch doesn't hit for me.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's like, am I dipping? It's not ladylike at all.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
trying
gonna
to be in
honest
my
with you.
divine feminine right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only one thing that turns me off is women smoking cigarettes, which is so weird because my girlfriend does it. She's the only one I'll accept it from. But I'm not into chicks smoking cigarettes, which is fine. I mean, everybody do their stuff, but it's like Zin's give me Coke blowouts. I don't know if that resonates with you at all, but you do a line of Coke, you got to run to the bathroom instantly.
Oh, yeah. I've only done Coke a few times because I got so anxious.
Yeah.
I get anxious. I thought I saw a cop car. I thought I was getting arrested. Too
I
much
always
for
think
me.
I'm getting arrested. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto now. I get weird. I follow the laws of the street when I'm playing Grand Theft Auto. I sat in traffic the other day in Grand Theft Auto.
No.
I'm like, when is this freaking light going to change?
That's so crazy.
Do you play any video games?
I play Mario Kart.
My daughter, I let her play Grand Theft Auto for a second.
You did?
She's just running over hookers. It was great.
Your daughter was playing Grand Theft Auto?
She loves to play the kids' games, and the kids' games are so dumb that you don't even know what they are.
Yeah.
Right?
Like which ones?
She loves Roblox
Okay.
and Minecraft. Minecraft's okay. Roblox is just like a money grab. Everything is
Dude.
like $100. You can buy this. You're like, you're not buying that.
Yeah, my boyfriend's son's obsessed with Minecraft. Did you guys see the movie?
Yeah, I went and saw the movie.
He's been talking about it like he said it was the best film he's ever seen. He's 8, and I was like,
well,
like, best
my daughter's
picture?
5. My one daughter's on the spectrum. She doesn't like to sit in movie theaters. And it's really weird when you go see a kid's movie and a kid's running around and everyone's like, shh. I'm like, you're at a kid's movie, dude.
Yeah, what do you
Like,
think?
Let them go crazy.
Yeah.
And so there were all these videos at that kids at Minecraft movies were just throwing popcorn at everybody. So I was ready to go just start going off on some 10-year-olds. I was ready to just, because everyone's like, 100 guys versus one gorilla. I was like 152-year-old versus a theater of 10-year-olds.
Yeah, while chicken jockey happens on
Yeah,
screen.
like chicken jockey, zombie jockey.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And it was a good movie. It was.
It was. Did you see Sonic the Hedgehog 3?
Yeah.
That was horrible.
It's so funny. No, did you see Super Mario?
No.
Oh, it's fire.
It is?
So, like, when you have kids, you're like, I can't wait to show them all the classics I love.
Yeah.
I love this classics.
Yeah.
And then you show them, and like our class, well, I'm much older than you, but the classics I grew up on are just dog shit.
Like what? Pinocchio? That shit's haunted.
Wow, it's so dark. Have you ever looked at
Pinocchio is the
Pinocchio?
most haunted Disney movie of all time, where the children turn into half donkeys.
No. You're not using the right word. There's a scene in the movie where at a bar where the guy explains they take boys to an island and turn them into asses.
Whoa, when you say it like that, Sam.
No, that's how it's said in the movie.
No, you're right. And they're like smoking cigars in their asses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dark.
That's dark as shit.
Bambi's dark.
Well, do you know that there's this whole thing for the longest time that every Disney movie, they just killed a parent just to like and give anxiety to the kids.
Well, it works.
Yeah, for sure.
Dumbo, he gets separated from his mom. I tried to watch Dumbo on mushrooms. I started bawling.
Yeah.
I was like, this is too real for me, sweetie. I can't watch it.
One time, I was doing acid with my friends in Vegas when I was in college. We were just full on watching The Wall from
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, Pink Floyd. And a friend came over and she's like, I want to kill myself. I'm like, I am tripping balls right now. And I had to talk her off the ledge, and it's so crazy because I went to UNLV, and our professor was like the #1 sex therapist
Really?
in the world.
Really?
Yeah, he just happened to be our professor, this old fat guy. Dr. Logan, I believe was his name. And we had just talked about suicide that day and like how to talk somebody off a ledge.
And you were on acid?
And I was on acid.
Watching The Wall?
Watching The Wall, knock on the door.
Was it a bad trip then?
Well, it became a bad trip at that point because my friend's in the bathroom. She's freaking the fuck out. My other friend, Lacey, then my friend Brad came over, a fraternity brother, and
You were in a fraternity?
Yeah, I was in Alpha Tau Omega. It was great. Dude.
You were?
Yeah,
What was your major?
I got a degree in psychology. I only went to college because I wanted my parents they just wanted me to get a degree.
Same.
And I just wanted to be a comedian my whole life since the moment before I even knew there was a job for it, I wanted to be a comic.
Yeah.
So, like I went to high school with the sole purpose of winning class clown. Like that was my only objective, grades.
Did you get in trouble?
All the time.
For what? What would you do?
I would just talk mad shit. And it wasn't until this one teacher named Dr. Vors understood my humor and just let me go crazy and just would ask me all these questions and I would just have a great time. That was the first time. But so I did this, I do a premium content. We were watching this cat named Derek Bros, and he has this 17-part series doc, and it's called the Pyramid of Power, like who runs the world. And the first episode is the education system. And our education system is based on this Prussian education system. And it's really not about educating you. It's about turning you into good workers and to not
like
question
a zombie.
anything. Right. So if you're getting in trouble in school, it's probably not that you're dumb. It's probably that they know you're not going to fall in line. So they pound on you to get you. Now, my parents are both teachers. I love teachers. I don't
Your
think
parents are both teachers?
Yeah. And
What do they teach?
And I can barely read. I'm like, everyone's like, how's that work out?
What do they teach?
My mother was just like a kindergarten teacher.
Hell
and my
yeah.
father taught business at high school.
Dude, I wish I went to school for business. It seems so boring, though.
If my kid asked me, what should I study? I go study business, study how to
Right?
make money. That's never going to go out.
I know.
You know, I got a degree in psychology because I like the movie. This is literally the truth.
Because you like the movie what?
I like the movie Silence of the Lambs
No.
and Basic Instinct. And they both involve psychologists. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get a degree in psychology. And
Did you like it? Did you like
I
studying?
did nothing with it.
I know. I majored in communications. What does
I
that
just
mean?
graduated college. Well, you communicate. So
I guess.
in a weird way, it has worked out for you. You learned how to communicate.
But you know what pisses me off? No one's ever like, let me see that diploma.
Nobody.
You could be lying. I have a diploma. No one fucking cares. There's a vaccine card on your fucking phones, and you can't even pull up your diploma.
Yeah, it's
add
crazy.
Add it to my wallet, dude.
Most people lie about their degrees, too.
I know, because nobody's checking.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody's calling up, hey, Michigan, did this person get a degree in aeroscience? Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Okay, look at how fucked up that Pinocchio.
Yeah, that Pinocchio, that means that character got molested.
Yeah. Because
Whenever
it's
you see
called
a
Pleasure
donkey-
Island.
Pleasure Island. And
Oh,
turns
it's like
them
a
into
weird
acid.
Epstein situation.
No, 100%.
Ugh.
Nickelodeon's logo, one
Was
of them
a
is a
foot?
foot because of foot fetishes. The other one is literally Epstein's Island. Disney Cruises took you through to Epstein's Island. Disney, the cruises,
Yeah.
took you to Epstein's Island.
So have you taken your kids to Disneyland?
No, I
Where do you
want to.
stand on Disneyland?
I mean, it's so expensive now. I do want to take them on a cruise.
It is so expensive. It is like $1,000.
It's just this notion
Before you
that
even
people will
get
pay for
food.
whatever.
Before you even get, then you're there for the day. And
Then
you're
they have like those $80 cruises, and that's where all the black people fight with each other.
on the Disney cruise.
Yeah, they're like, we don't like being on boats. It's not part of our history. You're like, I get it.
Oh my God. A Disney cruise. I remember my friend in middle school, she went on a Disney cruise. This white bitch came back with cornrows from her Disney cruise.
That is so funny
and I
because
was
I've
so
always
jealous.
wanted cornrows.
I was so jealous.
That's
It was
the
before
one.
it was like cultural appropriation. She's like, I went to the Bahamas. I had like pancakes with Minnie and I got cornrows. I'm like, bitch, you're
I want
living a
cornrows
life.
so badly. I can't do it anymore, but I would love to do cornrows.
I think you should.
I got a little patch up here at the top where it said goodbye.
You could get a weave.
I would, yeah. I
Get
would
a weave for
I would
cornrows?
love that. Just get some horsehair and cornrow it.
Yeah.
Some poor horse doesn't have its tail anymore, so I could have a black haircut.
Oh my God. How old are your girls?
5.
That's crazy.
It's so not, and it just flies.
That's so
It
crazy.
just flies. And it's like now they're going to go to kindergarten, and then there's all like, now they're going to learn social etiquette and all that stuff. And it's just,
Do you have to interact with the other parents?
so what happened was I like the other parents. They're very
Yeah.
nice people.
Yeah.
I just get nervous going to find half my posts on social media and be like, what the fuck? But so, my kids are COVID babies.
Yeah.
So they weren't allowed to go outside and mingle and socialize. So,
Because you had them in 2020 or 21?
we have them in 2020.
That's fucking crazy.
That's so great. I got really lucky that I could even be in the birthing
room?
Yeah, delivery room.
How were you in the room?
Dude, I was
freaked
like a
out?
head coach. I was just
You were like a head coach.
I was giving Newt Rockney speeches all over the place.
You were?
Yeah.
I could see you being inspiring in the birthing room.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying. Everybody did great. We all did great. Great game, everybody. So, they come home, we can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Everything's shut down. So when COVID went away and everything started opening, I'm like, these kids got to get socialized. So we're like, okay, we're going to bring them to this like private school. And they went there. And then like, it's really sad when you bring your kids to a private school.
Why? What was the vibe?
Because you're like, oh, I'm already losing them.
Yeah.
They're already gone.
Yeah.
There's a part of you that's like, okay, thank God, they're out of the house. You can get your work done and all that stuff. But it's also like, we're losing them.
That's sad.
Do you know that they say by age 12, you've hung out 90% of the time you're going to hang out with your children?
No.
Yes. 90%
Sam,
of the time.
That's sad.
That is so sad.
Why is that so sad?
Because
then they just get older and they have their own lives.
They start hanging out with their friends. They want to go out. They go to school. When they get home, they're going to go do stuff.
Does it make you change, like, now that you have kids, does it make you think of your relationship with your parents differently?
100%. I realized I left my mother too early. I left at 18.
You did?
I said, I'm
You're
out.
like, peace.
And I went out west, and I don't have a lot of regrets.
Yeah.
I used to have a bunch of regrets, and over time, I've learned that most of them really aren't that important. Like, I remember I had a regret that I had done Chelsea Handler was the first person that I knew that blew up that acted like she didn't know me.
That's
After
crazy.
That happens.
Yeah.
Happens a lot. There'll be like a comic you saw doing open mics, and then suddenly,
They're famous and
they're famous,
they won't look
and
at
they
you.
act like they don't know you. It doesn't happen a lot, but it did happen there, and it was shocking to me.
Yeah.
So she got her TV show, and they were doing auditions, and I did stand up, and I did a joke about sleeping your way to the top in front of her just to fucking piss her off. And I regretted that because it cost me probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars. But then later on, I realized I don't like her, and I'm okay with what I did. So that's off the board.
Yeah.
So my two last regrets are that I didn't start jiu-jitsu earlier. I went to Eddie Bravo's first original classes. Like it was on Santa Monica. And if I would have stuck with it, I would have been a black belt by now. But I didn't because I was a drug addict. And my buddy, who was my roommate, who moved out with me from Las Vegas, I just took him to a class and he loved it and he stayed. And now he owns his own gym in it's 10th Planet Ventura, and he has his own dojo. So that's one of my regrets. And my other one is that I left my mom too early. My dad wanted me to go. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Go do something.
Yeah.
He had this whole plan to like kind of he had a secret plan to get me to buy a house. He's
a secret plan?
To buy a house in Vegas
Okay.
that we would both own, and then he could write it off as a tax write-off so he could come gamble all the time because he loves to gamble.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, him and his black girlfriend live in fucking
How'd they meet?
my dad, I don't know, man. He was a player back in the day, and so he loves to gamble. So I left my mom there too early.
Yeah.
So I feel sad about that. But those are it. So when you go, do you think about it all the time?
Yeah.
All the time. Like your job as a parent is to domesticate a wild animal.
That's so crazy.
Prison and homeless are just full of wild animals. We're wild until someone domesticates us. Then we become house cats and dog cats.
Yeah.
But you got to learn how to interact with people. And the biggest thing is that as a parent, you come to this realization that you have generational trauma.
Yeah.
And your job is to stop that chain.
To break the chain.
And not pass it on to your kids. And then some new trauma comes up for them. And
there's always going to be some type of trauma, right?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
And now we're more dialed into trauma than we were.
Well, now
in the
everything
80s.
is trauma.
Yeah.
Everybody's got
It's like
a
sometimes
disease.
you got to yell. Is that trauma, or do I just need to get my point across?
Well, sometimes I'm like, as a dad, realize sometimes I have to be the bad guy and just put my foot down.
Yeah, that's probably not fun.
It's not fun, but it's necessary. It's necessary.
So the inmates aren't running the prison, dude.
And it's very hard to yell at them. It's very hard because they're just so cute.
Yeah.
And they're so adorable.
Yeah.
And you just want to love them. But sometimes you got to be bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm the bad guy.
You are.
I think it's going to be the name of my next special.
Bad guy?
The Bad Guy.
I like that.
I do too. I'm debating whether I want to try to. A lot of times, what I'll do is I will give myself a task. What I want to try to accomplish in this special. Like I remember one time I was watching Ari Shaffir tell stories, and I go, because I think storytelling is the highest form of comedy. Yeah, even as we kind of drift into this crowd work era, which I'm fine with as long as it's good crowd work.
Right.
Some people
not like forced crowd work for clips.
Well, you know, what do you do? What do you do? You know, it's like I try to do a little different crowd work. My crowd work is like because I'm psychic. I come from psychics.
Are you intuitive?
Yes, and I do believe that is why my podcast, Tinfoil Hat, has done so well.
Yeah. Because
we're able to predict what's going to happen. I kind of play it out in my head and I say, this is what I think is going to happen.
So a lot of things that you've talked about on the podcast have happened.
Yes. I wouldn't say we're batting 1,000. Because I don't think, because we're trying to solve crimes in the dark.
Right.
So it's like impossible to do that. But I would say two things. We're trying to solve crimes in the dark, and we also have this kind of hope. And sometimes when you put hope on other people, you're going to be let down. It's just the reality of the situation, right?
Yeah.
So we get a couple things wrong. But overall, we're batting probably 950.
Really?
975. And so my crowd work is I read somebody and tell them this whole vibe I have of them.
And are you often right?
I can't tell you how many times people go, oh my God, you're totally right.
That's so crazy.
It happens all the time.
That's so crazy. Just from like looking at them, you can tell.
I just get energy reads all the time. Everything is energy. You know, why does some people blow up and other people don't? Energy. Now, there are people who can figure it out. Like I think Tony Hinchcliffe is somebody you could say figured it out.
Yeah.
He just like found a system. Caught some luck. Now, luck doesn't mean he's not worthy of it. It just means things went the way he wanted them to.
That's like preparation meeting divine timing.
Yeah, that's what Oprah Winfrey calls it. So he did that. He
Our girl Oprah.
Our girl Oprah. Whenever they sell you on something that this person is like the nicest person, the greatest person.
Red flag.
Red flag. And it's almost the other way around too, where like if they're sold as
a demon,
a bad person, then you mean you're like, you're not that bad at all. I mean,
yeah.
So you see that with Rogan, kind of what like the far left wants to make him out to be a demon, and it's like nobody's helped more people than that guy.
I know.
I mean, I think we could both say we've been blessed with the blessings of Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I'd probably be dead if it wasn't for him. So, you know, he gets sold as this bad guy, and really he's a super nice guy that's made a lot of people a lot of money. So, you know, you can read, you know, so the point of that is like some people go crazy because their best friend blew up and they're not blowing up, and everything is energy, and it's like, what is your path?
Yeah.
You just got to figure out your path and what you're going to be happy with. There's something called transurfing. Have I talked to you about? I feel like last time I was with you. You
didn't talk to me about transurfing.
A lot of people think it's about cross-dressers in Hawaii, but it's really about this notion that there's like all these different versions of you.
Like parallel universe?
Yeah, like the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
I haven't.
Oh, you got to watch that movie.
Okay, I will.
It's like a top 5 movie of all time.
Okay.
And Everything Everywhere All at Once. And it's called transurfing.
Whoa.
And it's the notion that says reality surfing, which is the same thing, which is the notion that there are multiple
versions of you in parallel worlds.
All of them are possible. You just have to figure which one is you are happy with. Like there is a
And if you're not happy with the one that you're in, then you have to change your vibration, your energy vibration, to step into the different form.
100%. So like the biggest thing you learn in recovery is you are where you are based on the decisions you make and the actions you take.
Like you got yourself to where you are.
Which is the exact opposite was what popular pop culture tells you, which is all these external forces are working against you to keep you down.
It's your childhood trauma.
Yeah, my race, my sexuality, my gender, my blah, blah, blah.
If I only had a dick, things would be different.
If I was a guy.
Yeah.
And then you always see these stories where like women dress as guys and live as a guy, and then afterwards they're depressed at how shitty they're treated, right? It's like there's a dimension out there where you become president, right? So the question becomes, what do you got to do to get there? And are you going to be happy with that?
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
I
so
don't like DC. Have you been there?
It's interesting when you go around DC and you see a road or street named after somebody. Just know that person is a horrific war criminal. There's nobody who gets a street in Washington DC that loved people. It's almost based on like murder count.
No, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's an airport called Dulles Airport named after the Dulles brothers who basically helped bring all the Nazis over to America.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Oh, it's so crazy.
No, the vibes there are bad. When I was there, I was like, this isn't for me.
Well, it's based on, I mean, so there's again, going back to my friend, Derek Bros has this really great series. He's about to put the final episode out called The Pyramid of Power. You can watch it for free. They're only 30 minutes, man. It is so well done. It is like such great editing. And that's Hollywood's biggest problem. Is that
editing?
Is that independent content is beginning to look like network content.
Yeah, and it's maintaining its integrity. It's not selling out to make something
you're telling the story you want to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I went to Tom Segura's his premiere of his new TV
Bad Thoughts.
show. Oh, it's so good. It's so dark. It is so dark.
That's fucking awesome.
And you're gonna hear people go, "What the fuck, man? Fuck that." It's like so good, dude. If you love dark comedy, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
The trailer, I watched it, looked amazing.
It's
He's dressed
shot
up like
beautifully.
Garth Brooks.
It's so shot beautifully. But the part of me goes, Netflix said, do what you want. Just go do what you want. I'm sure there was a point in which they had to look at the script and they knew what they were getting into. But you remember, what's that show, Jonathan and Me? What is that show with that guy from Canada? What's his name? He's like the Jewish autistic kid.
Is it The Rehearsal?
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
The Rehearsal, dude.
The Rehearsal with
This guy-
Nathan
Fielder.
Nathan, excuse me, guys. Nathan
For You, all that stuff.
Yeah. He is
Jonathan and Me.
Yeah, close. Almost there. He is so smart. Like, that's
he's a
guy
genius.
who's used his autism for superpower,
for
right?
power.
He's like an
Yeah.
X-Men.
Yeah, dude.
But he's the 180 of Tom Segura show. But
Yes.
my whole opinion is, as has always been, they should both exist, and we should love both of them.
Right.
The problem is that the people who tend to love his stuff hate what Segura's doing in the past, hated it, and tried to get it canceled. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're now in this place where everyone's got a chance. Everyone can be seen.
Which is awesome.
Which is becoming music, right? You remember? You know, I don't ever go to music festivals anymore, but usually they're
either.
very top heavy.
When was the last time you went to a music
I
festival?
don't even remember the last time I went.
I went to Coachella in my 20s.
Yeah, I never.
You couldn't pay me to go now.
I couldn't go right now for all the tea in China.
The scene is bleak.
I just can't wait in lines.
Can't wait in lines, and it's just like a lot of
I never understand why women wait in line. Like wherever you go,
Dumb
that's
women
the
wait in
party.
line, no.
Yeah. Like wherever you go, that's the party. Why are you
but when
waiting?
you're in your 20s, you're like, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna get fucked up. We're gonna be in the dance tent. It was fun until it wasn't.
Now it's like go there, do drugs, have sex, get weird.
Yeah.
I just think it, but then you're in mud forever, and you're.
Would you go to Burning Man?
No, it's Burning Man is a CIA op.
It is.
It's the new Bohemian Grove. This is where they go and they find people, and this is where they do rituals, and you gotta get weird.
I don't like a ritual that I didn't ask for.
Yeah, it's where butt stuff happens.
Butt stuff happens
Everything's
at Burning
butt
Man.
stuff.
Like
I'm
Pinocchio?
convinced the word asshole came from a soul.
A soul?
Asshole,
Yeah.
a soul. That's just my theory.
Yeah.
And your butthole is like the window to your soul.
Is
That's why
it?
everybody
Is
wants to
it?
take it.
Is the butthole the window to the soul?
I think
heard
so.
it was eyes. I heard eyes
well,
were the window to the soul, Sam.
Here's
Is
the
it
thing
the
about
butthole?
eyes. Your eyes always tell your age.
Really?
You can never.
I've seen like a kid with wise eyes.
No, that's an old soul.
Old
in a
soul,
young body.
different. Yeah.
But in terms of how much you've seen, You can't shave those years off.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I have this theory right now that the reason why they're saying that Generation Z kids look so old is because they're on their tablets the whole time and they're just taking in so much data.
Do they say that they look so old?
Oh, yeah. Have you seen that famous, maybe you could find it? It's where a plastic surgeon tries to guess the age of the women he's shown.
Yeah. No.
And he is so far off.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And it's so scary.
But it is weird how, like, now 20-year-olds and 40-year-olds kind of look the same, too, because people are getting plastic surgery. So it's like you could be anywhere between 20 and 40.
Yeah, that's it right there. The first one says TikTok down there. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So the first girl is Jess.
She's 38, lips, nose. Yeah, so obviously she's had some work done, in my opinion. 42, yes. Cheeks, lips, nose, fake lashes, brows, Botox.
And then this is Nicole.
Are those two different photos of the same person?
Yes, they're one of them.
No.
Is that crazy?
This is crazy. Are these fucking Gen Zers?
Yes.
They do look old.
Wait till you see.
All right, so I'm going to look at a real photo?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. She's 35, lips, veneers, Botox.
She looks older than 35.
32, lips, veneers, nose.
And he's a plastic surgeon.
Yeah, so he's doing this.
Ready for this?
I'm scared. Are they all going to be 20s?
Oh God.
Whoa. Whoa.
Harriet is 24.
Whoa.
He said she's 42.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't watch this show. Maybe I should, but this is crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, plastic surgery.
His mind's
and
blown
injectables
off.
done
You should not do it that
correctly
early.
older.
No, you start looking insane. They look insane. They look like divorcees that have seen some shit.
They've seen some shit.
They've seen some shit.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, there we go.
Just have the lines in your face, bitch.
Yeah. I'm,
Have the subtle crease. You're 24.
You're 24. Enjoy
You don't need it.
that.
Yeah. Dude, but they're going to look crazy as fuck when they're 44.
Oh, they're going to look like cats. That's where
That's
you get
what
to.
happens.
You get to alien cat face.
Alien, and once you hit alien cat face, there's no coming
There's no
back.
coming back. There's only black guys.
No, that's crazy. and OnlyFans.
Well, you know what it is, man? It's like you should enjoy your journey.
Well, and they all kind of look kind of the same. They look like they're about to sell real estate on the Sunset Strip.
Yeah, that's where you go.
Yeah.
That's where you go. And
That's where you go when you're no longer could be a bottle service girl. You become a realtor.
or
realtor.
ex-porn stars, they go into real estate,
Yeah.
right? Because that's the kind of look like, hey, we could do coke and bang hair.
Yeah.
That's
I'll show you. I have a showing.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
what, do you?
It's like, it's just an interesting life. And I don't know, man. People want me to get on TRT. They want me to testosterone it out. But I have such an insane sex addiction. It'll be like
dangerous
hitting
for you.
Godzilla with like a nuclear bomb. You're just
You'll
gonna...
Do you want more kids?
No. I want 1,000 kids.
You do?
Oh, yeah. I would like to get everybody pregnant.
Really?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Just to see what would
I
come
just want
out?
kids. Kids are the best. If I could have more kids, I would have way more kids.
Really?
Oh, I love them.
That's good.
Yeah. We don't have enough children. It's going to implode.
Dude, Trump's like, if you get pregnant, we'll give you $5,000.
Dude.
I'm like, yeah, listen, it's going to be, that won't even cover the
That wouldn't-
hospital
yeah,
bills.
they won't. It should be like you never have to pay taxes again.
Oh, yeah.
Would you give up your right to vote if you never had to pay taxes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today.
People are like, we gotta tell women if they give up their right to vote, they don't have to pay taxes. I'm like, I'll give up my right to vote not to
I'll
pay
give up
taxes.
my, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I
Dude,
100%.
I'll get pregnant not to pay taxes today.
Well, there are
Give me those incentives.
So in like some of these European countries, they're having such population problems that they're offering families houses, like nice houses. And for every kid you have, you knock 25% off that loan. And if you have 4 kids, you never have to pay that loan back again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because we're having a population problem. That's half the reason why we have immigrations coming in. And like, I have daughters. I love daughters. There's something about higher education and women that brings in depopulation, and they don't have kids. And I'm not saying women shouldn't be educated. Obviously,
No,
they
yeah,
should.
because you're like afraid that if you don't educate yourself, then you're gonna be stuck.
But
being
there's some
pregnant.
feminist mojo going on there
Yeah.
that is trying to convince women that not having kids is like this great thing.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is why I think Kanye's going crazy, right?
Why? Why?
Because they won't let him see his kids. They won't. Do you know how much he's paying a month in child support?
Oh my God, probably so much.
$400,000 a month,
They won't let him see them.
and they won't let him see his kids.
Kim won't. The
Yeah.
Kardashians
The
or
Kardashians won't,
who? But
The
isn't
courts
he
won't. The
entitled
court-
to?
but the court won't let him.
Because
They
of
say he's too much of a danger to his kids, but he's going crazy.
because he's not allowed to see his kids.
Well, yeah, he just put out that song. That's so crazy.
The cousin one, the dick.
No, the one. Did you see that?
No.
Okay. It's
When did he drop that one?
It's on Twitter if you want to see it. It is catchy though. It is catchy, but
Oh my God.
yeah, that's
I
it
didn't even
right
know
there.
this.
They banned it everywhere. But
That's
they took away his
crazy.
kids.
They took away his kids completely because
Yeah,
of
he hasn't been seen his. He said he hasn't seen his kids all of 2025.
that's sad.
And like when you have a kid,
And you
Right.
don't see them.
dude, there is no love in the world that you will ever have that is like when you have your children. I have my kids at 48 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Every memory I have of my life going all the way back to children when I was a child, I still feel them in my memories.
Yes.
That's it right there. It's crazy, dude, but it is catchy. The whole point is like people are really losing it on Kanye right now,
Yeah.
but it's like,
Well, he just got kicked off X, right? I think
I think he's
removed.
back. He might be kicked off, but the thing is this, it's like, we've seen this before. We saw it with Britney Spears. I always say Britney Spears and Mike Tyson are kind of the same people in a weird way, where they were so big in our culture, and when they just dropped, everyone freaked out.
Yeah.
And we're like,
yeah,
whoa, what's going on here? We kind of prop them all up back.
Right.
Right, like, okay, get back up there a little bit. You know, we're not used
like
to
when
seeing.
Mike Tyson versus Logan Paul and he was in that song.
Oh yeah, that was so.
I think about that. Sometimes it'll just enter my mind. I'm
People
like, I didn't
hate
need to
Logans,
see.
the Pauls. Hey, I love them. I think they're so smart in how they operate. But man, like, dude, he put Mike Tyson in a fight, and the world watched the fight.
And it was sad.
It was sad.
It was sad, right? Like, I didn't need to see his ass in those leather things that he
Nobody
was
wants to see-
wearing. That was too much, dude.
Dude, you see Tom Segura's ass in this fucking
You do?
on this TV show? It's so funny. Yeah, man, it's like crazy times right now.
Oh,
Oh yeah, there it is.
no,
He's still
he's
being.
on.
I don't know what Twitter's doing, but I find it super interesting.
Oh my
It's the most
God.
interesting social media app I've ever seen in my life. There's never been a time where the masses can communicate with the masters of mankind and affect them.
Oh, dude, he is.
Yeah, we can't show any of this stuff, but they're censoring everything he posts.
Yes, everything gets a censor on it. So it's interesting times, man. It's interesting times.
What do you think about the Diddy stuff?
I mean, he was an intelligence operation.
Yeah.
So I met with Andrew when I did Rogan's podcast. He asked me to come with him to the mothership, and I'm like, let me think about it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
let's go. So we go there, and Andrew Schultz was playing the club, and I got to sit in the back with them, and like you instantly get why they are who they are. They're magnetic.
Totally.
They're very, very, very specific with their speech. Like there's no wasted lines. Everything
Yes.
is very almost like supercomputer kind of
Right.
like calculate before they talk. And he turned to me, he goes, why do you think they're outing Obama right now for being gay? And I don't think he liked my answer, but I do believe it's demoralization. Like, think about all these black heroes, cultural heroes, and what's come out about all of them. You know, the CIA basically inferred that, you know, Martin Luther King was at least bisexual, Obama gay, P. Diddy gay.
Obama gay with his chef who disappeared.
Gay with his chef, gay with his husband, wife, gay with all that shit.
Oh.
Like, there's a have you ever seen Big Mike? Have you ever
You
seen
call her Big Mike.
Have you ever seen the press conference done by the guy who throws a press conference?
No.
To tell everybody that he smoked crack with Obama and Estes D?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's a very famous press conference.
What?
And you're just watching. And it's like, I love everybody, but, you know, people that scare me are closeted politicians. They just seem like dangerous people.
Well, what's going on with the French?
Oh, yeah. Dude, you know how crazy that story is?
I listened to Candace Owen talking about it with Tim Dillon, and
but
I was
it's
like,
so
damn.
crazy because it's not that she's a he. It gets even crazier.
They're like related or something,
That
right?
she might be his dad.
I didn't know it was the dad.
Yeah, because there's another guy
Okay.
that is supposedly his cousin
Okay. Yes.
that looks exactly like him, and they can't find the dad. They don't know where the dad is,
dude.
because Candace Owen and everyone believes the dad is really the wife
woman.
now.
And the age difference, like crazy.
Well, she's a pedophile,
yeah.
which is like the craziest thing about like Hollywood. Like, nobody cares about that shit. They care about Me Too stuff, about white elite actresses feeling uncomfortable, making up stories, and then just annihilating people's careers for like nothing. Like, and you know, and then he R'd me. It's like, is there any proof? Did you tell anybody? And then none of it's real. I have this bit I'm working on.
And when it's not real, then it makes
does a lot of damage.
It does a lot of damage, because if it is real, then no one believes you, because there's so
Nobody
many
wants to
other
believe women now.
Because there's so many women that are just saying it and it's not true. And then there was like this thing that was like, believe all women. It was like, but we shouldn't just believe all of them.
Yes, we shouldn't just go, she said it, so it's true.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is, man. That's just because, do you know? Okay, so hear me out on this. So women internalize everything, right? Because I was watching Daniel Tosh do a joke about how the most passionate guy will have when he has sex with you is the first time he has sex with you.
Okay.
And then over time, it just diminishes, right?
Right.
And he basically said that like the best example of that is like a guy could be in a relationship and not have sex, and then but the minute he's single, he's beating off 3 times a day.
Right.
And that like he goes, I have to beat off every day because I'll sexually assault somebody.
Yeah.
And because it's Daniel Tosh, he can get away with that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. So what was the point of that whole thing that I was going to say? What was the
Women
point of that?
internalize everything.
Yeah, so there's this famous Lego study that Lego did. Lego did a study.
Okay.
And they wanted to find out, why do boys like Legos and girls don't like Legos? And how do they play different with the Legos? And what they discovered is when a boy plays with a Lego, he plays with the Lego as the character, meaning I'm Batman and he's playing with the Lego.
Yeah.
I'm going to go fight crime. Whereas girls, when they play with the toy, it's them. I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So everything becomes internalized.
Interesting.
Which is like comedy, right? Like, who gets offended by jokes? So he's like women in the crowd.
Right.
And they want to go talk to the manager because they've internalized every bit of it. So the reason I bring that up is because when a woman comes out with I'm just going to say it, the Crystalia stuff, like you were here at the beginning when he was coming up, and he would get off stage and like women would present themselves to him. Like these women would literally run out.
He would come with like 12 hot ladies.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that none of the texts were real or any of that stuff, but at the worst, Crystalia is Jerry Seinfeld at the worst. The difference between Crystalia and Jerry Seinfeld is that Jerry Seinfeld, 17-year-old, was on the cover of People magazine. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
And they're like, she's 17, but those tits aren't 17. That's literally like, not literally what it says, but that's basically what they're saying. Like, look how big these tits are on this high school chick.
Well, then it was also so normalized for so long within the culture.
I mean, if you go back to the old rock stars, they used to go on the road with like 14-year-olds.
That's
and
crazy.
parents were like, what are you going to do? We're just going to teach her how to play guitar. Okay.
Have fun. Be safe, you guys. Dude, be safe on the road.
Imagine, like, yeah, look at that. They're like, those titties aren't 17. Look who's in love. Oh, my God. It's so crazy, dude.
That is crazy.
What Dalia got destroyed for.
What is this? She's 18.
No, but they met when they were 17.
Oh. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like, she stayed at the hotel that I worked at for a while. She was stunningly beautiful.
Was she an actress?
I don't know. She probably tried to get into it. So, Bob Saget when he was alive, hated Jerry Seinfeld.
Really?
Because Jerry Seinfeld.
Saget versus Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming.
The word is allegedly.
Yeah.
That Seinfeld's thing is to fuck married wives.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he's into. And the only reason I say that is because he's just like this dude who's like, keep it clean, do all this shit. And it's like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
He's into fucking married wives.
Yeah.
So this is her now. She's a writer and a fashion designer.
Still hot.
So Shoshana Lonstein-Gruss.
Wow.
Yeah, good for her, man.
Interesting, dude.
Do you know that Jerry Seinfeld is the most successful actor of all time if you go by the amount of money they've made?
Are you for real?
He's made more money than Tom Cruise.
From what? Seinfeld?
Yep. Syndication.
Seinfeld does hold up, though.
Seinfeld does hold up.
Dude, it goes off.
But that just tells you how great Larry David is to me.
Larry David's a genius. He's
Larry
perfect.
David is such a genius.
He's
politically, he's a
perfect.
little retarded, but he's such a genius.
He is a genius, dude.
But that's like box office actors. I'm talking about how much money they brought home.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And again, these are movie people.
This isn't TV, yeah.
So they always have these crazy YouTube channels where they give you all this data. Have you ever seen it where like all these like pillars go up and like who made the most?
Their net worth.
Yeah. Seinfeld's number one.
That's crazy.
It is crazy because he's the worst actor on Seinfeld. Like he's the smartest guy in the world. Just surround yourself with like black belt level comedic actors.
I mean, Kramer.
Great actor.
Best actor, dude.
Great actor.
Him
Julius
as Kramer.
Louis-Dreyfus.
Amazing.
But by the way, do you know her story?
What?
Her family are like masters of mankind. They're like bazillionaire, like shipping family.
They are?
Yeah, she's like...
The Dreyfuses?
Yeah, they're like beyond rich.
That's crazy.
Did you ever hear the story of Sebastian talking about going to his wife's family to meet them for the first time?
No.
They're like they're insanely wealthy, like wealthy.
Sebastian's
wife's
family? No.
And he said when he pulled up to their house, he thought he was at a hotel.
That's crazy.
That is so crazy. Talk about winning in life.
Dude, you just fall in love with a rich bitch.
Yeah. And it's funny because him and I used to co-headline together.
Uh-huh.
And now he's playing like arenas. And I just did a gay bar in Jacksonville.
There's gay bars in Jacksonville.
Well, it was like a burlesque, and all the pictures were like cross-dressing burlesque. I'm like, I don't know where I am, but here I am.
No.
Sold it out.
Dude, I was just telling Lee that I did Jacksonville, and I was in my hotel before the fucking show, and the guy that was opening for me called me from the lobby, and my hotel phone rang, and it was so haunted. When you're in a hotel room in Jacksonville and your fucking hotel room phone just rings, and he's like, hey, what do you want me to say? I'm like, dude, I'll be down there in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's so
I don't
weird.
need you calling me on the hotel
Yeah, so
phone.
weird.
It gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, and being a woman, that can't be easy.
It seemed like a scary movie. I'm
Yeah.
in Jacksonville, the fucking thing rings. It's, hey, it's your opener. What do you want me to say?
I
It's
wonder
like,
if I brought my kids to a hotel and the phone rang, would they know what to do? Because they've never seen that before.
they haven't?
No, I remember when
You don't have a landline.
I don't have a landline, but I remember it has to be like 15 to 20 years ago. I was at home and my cousin's son, who had to be about 8 at the time, 5 at the time, he came into my bedroom to see what I was doing. I go, hey, you know what that is right there? He goes, no. I go, that's a phone. He goes, no, it's not. I go, that's a phone. This is how we used to talk.
Like an ancient artifact,
Yeah,
dude.
100%.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
That trips me out.
So what's next? We got these phones here. What's next?
I don't like chips in our bodies.
Oh, that's it. It's gonna be it. But I'll be out by then. I'll be
You
like,
think?
Oh yeah, dude. Give me a reason to stop being on the internet. I would do it.
Really?
Yeah, I love my podcast. I love doing it. I love doing a podcast for my fans. I love doing it. Mm-hmm. But if there comes a time where it's like, wrap it up. Like I have this comedy club in New Jersey. It's called the Dojo of Comedy, and it's doing really well. Our goal is to franchise it,
Cool.
and then I can disappear.
That's what you want. You want to disappear off the internet.
I hate promoting shows. I'm so shadow banned. I'm fighting an uphill battle. Like I'm getting a lawyer right now to go after Instagram
Really?
because I can't sell ads and I can't live stream.
You can't sell ads?
I can't sell ads on Instagram. I can do it on Twitter, but I don't know how many people see it on Twitter. But I
Yeah.
can't do it.
And
like
everyone keeps telling me that Instagram ads are the way to do it.
Instagram and Facebook.
I didn't realize that.
It's the best because you can do it right to the market.
Right, of where
Cleveland,
you're gonna be
Ohio, and then it's like you're going to reach 100,000 people.
in
Perfect.
in that area.
Perfect. They
They won't let you do it?
because I did something in 2019.
What'd you do?
I don't even know.
You
2019.
said Michelle Obama's a man, and you can't fucking.
probably. Well, probably along the lines of
Big
that.
Mike. Big Mike's got you
Big
banned
Mike.
from SpawnCon.
It was so funny. I remember I took a break from the store for a while, and then I came back, and I remember I was doing a joke, and it was just like some of my jokes hit really hard, and then some of them they just stare at me.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I'll even put out a clip of the crowd not having a great reaction, but I know it's a great bit.
Yeah. I
because
love that.
I just don't give a shit.
Right.
Like I'm in,
Because you believe in what you're saying, and you know
Yes.
it's funny to you,
but I did this.
and you'll
bit-
find the people who
Yeah,
will
it's
fuck
not
with
for the
that.
people that don't like it, and they may even be in the room.
Right.
It is the people who get me, know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So I was doing a bit about how like Hollywood loves to make everybody in the history gay. Mm-hmm. Right? They're all like, like Hitler was gay, Abraham Lincoln was gay, blasphemy, Jesus was gay, right? They'll put out but the minute you go, I think Obama's gay, they're like, how dare you? How dare you say? It's like, it's the mental gymnastics of that shit.
Are you religious?
I am. I'm spiritual,
Yeah.
Christian.
Christian.
I'm not really getting into I'm not into the structure and a lot of the, I have my own theory on Jesus.
What's your theory?
My theory is Jesus was a cheat code sent down by source
Okay.
to teach us how to thrive in this realm of energy.
Okay.
So a lot of the other stuff that people get into, the hating of gays, the hating of I'm not into any of that.
Right.
Right? You
Right.
can't tell me Fortune Finster was going to be a straight chick. You just can't tell me that.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
gay as fuck.
Yeah. Sometimes
who
you
she-
come out and you're just gay.
And she should just be herself.
Yeah. Exactly.
If we get into like why are drag queens reading to children, that's what I start to have problems with. Because the people pushing that stuff all go to therapy for childhood trauma. And yet now you're just because cross-dressers, trans, they're advanced algebra of life. Like sometimes you'll see, I was at the park the other day, there was a trans mom there.
Really?
And it's just like,
And you knew right away.
oh yeah, because you could just tell like broad
Moose
shoulders.
knuckle.
moose knuckle, flat ass, everything.
Yeah.
And you just, and like, she's not doing anything to me. I'm not
Right.
going to make, and those kids seem super happy. Let them live their
Right.
fucking life, right?
Right.
But it's like most people like will look at that and it will take them computing math to understand what the optical image they're looking at is. Do you understand? Like it's advanced algebra.
It's advanced algebra. I get what you mean.
Kids
People
are
need
like
a second to
ABCs.
process it.
Yes. Whereas like kindergarten through 6th grade or 7th, 8th grade, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s.
Right.
Let's focus on that.
I get it. When you say it like that, it makes sense.
It's like
Advanced algebra.
yeah, and like if people realize like the dark history, is this a weird episode? I always ask you this every time I come on.
No.
If people realize the dark,
I had you on to have you on, Sam.
Okay, thank you.
We could talk about whatever you want.
if you study this guy named Alfred Kinsley, right?
Okay.
If you study him, you would realize the origins of sex ed is
Oh yeah,
dark
Kinsley
as shit.
scale.
And it's so crazy that Showtime did a whole show on him, which is exactly why Hollywood has lost everybody. This dude literally, there's a
Wouldn't women be like, I have hysteria, and then they'd go get masturbated?
yeah, they get
They're
finger
like-
blasted.
Yeah, they're like,
so it's like
I'm
I think I
feeling-
got a finger.
I'm feeling a little better.
Yeah. Oh my god, I feel
hysteria's
so
gone.
much better
Yeah.
now. So it's a doc called the Children of Table, either 34 or 38.
Okay.
It's so dark. And basically this piece of shit, like I always talk about this all the time. Like if I go back and fight people in history,
Yeah, Kinsley's first.
oh, number one with a bullet. He's right there. I would beat him. Who's the president that gave us the Federal Reserve? But yeah, Children of Table 34. So
What is it about?
it's about the fact that this guy literally ran a scientific pedophile ring, used it as science, and filmed these guys molesting these kids to see the reality of it.
Ew.
And, yeah. And people just, and he's got like,
I thought he was just masturbating bored housewives.
yeah, no. That's what they sell you on.
Hysterical bitches just,
Just
needing to come.
I'm hearing voices. Finger blast, finger blast. Let me eat your butt. Do I, sir,
Butt stuff.
Your wife, she is stable position. I tongue darted her butthole, and now the demons are gone.
She'll be a pleasure to be around
Yeah,
now.
she's much happier now.
She'll
Bring
vacuum
her
no-
back if there is any return. I'm here till about 7 p.m.
She'll vacuum no problem.
Yeah, she'll
Dinner
vacuum
will be
now.
on the table.
Do you know that it used to be considered eating pussy was considered gay? Like other men would be like, "Are you gay? You ate her pussy? That's so gay."
I think it's gay to not eat pussy.
Yeah, right. That's where we are culturally now. But there's
Yeah,
culturally,
yeah.
at some point, if you ate a chick's pussy, you're considered gay.
Really?
Isn't that
They
crazy?
talk about it in The Sopranos.
Oh yeah.
They do?
That's
Yeah.
where somebody was just telling me.
Yeah.
Oh, you eat your wife's pussy? You
Yeah, and Tony was giving Junior shit about it, about like south of the border.
So, isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Well,
And that
It's
wasn't even
the-
that long ago.
It's the submission of it, right? It's like you're a man, you're supposed to be the dominant one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my god, the Children of Table 34 seems dark. It's a VHS for $90.
Yeah, look at that. So someone the other day gave me a CD. I go, what am I going to do with this? Do coke off it? What am
A
I doing with
CD?
you? Yeah, he's a good guy. I love him. But I was like, I don't know what you want me to do with this. Do I just use it as a frisbee? Do you want me to
Dude.
throw it at people like a throwing star?
You don't have a CD player.
Do you have a CD player?
No. Before I got my most recent car, my last car, I remember it was time to get rid of it when I had a 6-disc CD player, dude. That used to be a luxurious amenity.
Oh yeah, you could put 6 discs
Yeah,
in. You're
yeah.
like, go different ones,
Yeah.
and
Take
gone.
your 6 wisely, dude.
And it's gone.
Gone.
We don't have anything actually tangible.
No. It's
There's
on our
nothing
phone.
physical anymore. Everything. This show, this is the physical part. Once it's done, it becomes digitalized, and there's nothing there.
That's weird. When you say it like that, it's fucking trippy.
So it's always like you hear these stories about time travelers. There's a very famous radio show called Coast to Coast,
Yeah. With
It's like-
what's his name? Art Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's still going long after he's been gone. But like he had a very famous call from a guy who said he's from the future.
Oh, fuck.
He's from the future, and he gave him his name. They actually found him as a child at that point, and he said he was sent back because they have to figure out what happened.
No.
Something traumatic happened, and there's no actual physical evidence because everything was digitalized, and then it's gone.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's weird.
That's really crazy.
Yeah, I want to listen. I want to listen to that fucking episode.
Just look up Art Bell Time Traveler. And,
okay.
And they'll tell you
Time
about it.
traveler.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
believe time isn't this, but time is this, like a book.
Like a grid that you can travel between.
Like when you read a book, right?
Yeah.
Whatever page you're reading is the reality of that time. But if you jump, let's say you're on page 34 and you jump to page 119, suddenly that's the reality of the time.
Yeah.
But you can always jump back to page 85 and now that's the reality of the time.
So do you think we can jump back?
I think they can, yes.
Do you think the elites can jump back and do things?
I think they can. Now, the weirdest thing is
Because
this.
why wouldn't we be able to at this point? We have the science.
Well, there's this whole theory that their Project Looking Glass, I think it's called, and that Hillary used it, and she got to a certain year, and she couldn't look past that year. And I don't know what year that is, but there's a year in which she could not look past. That's the rumor right now.
Like there was a cutoff?
Yeah, she tried to go even farther, and it stopped right there.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I have a theory. It's very weird. It involves reincarnation.
Okay.
And that you don't reincarnate back in at a different time, that you reincarnate back in to the same time and you redo your life again.
Dude, sometimes I see a dog, I'm like, is that my grandpa?
Yeah, 100%.
What the fuck, dude?
I personally think that all these war criminals come back and they just blow donkeys in Tijuana.
That's so dumb. Sam.
That they all come back and they're all in those weird
Donkey
videos.
shows.
Yeah. Have you heard that?
I've heard of donkey shows.
Yeah, they're donkey shows in Tijuana. And you're like, what'd you do in your life that you have to go back to that?
Did something bad.
Yeah, it's very weird. What's your writing process?
Depends.
Because you have a very unique style.
Sometimes I'll just like wake up in the middle of the night and it'll just drop in.
Yeah, that's called a download.
And it's like at 3 a.m. and it's like I don't want to get a pen.
That
And I
hap-
have to.
Yeah, that happened to me with my bit called the 7 Stages of Grief for Shitting Your Pants. And I remember I woke up and it was fully formed.
Yeah.
So I was doing
it's
that all the time, but the downloads have now slowed down.
Yeah. And then other times and now I'm doing this new thing where I'll think of a premise and then I've been trying to use ChatGPT to see like if I can use it as a writing partner.
I don't think that's a bad
And sometimes
idea.
I can and sometimes I can't. Like sometimes the stuff that I come up with is more powerful.
Cerebral?
Yeah. Or sometimes like I'm like, I need a word for something that's like could do with drugs, but also horses, like for something I'm writing. And then you type it in and it'll give you like
Yeah.
a bunch of different things. And then you can figure out how to structure it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do that.
What
too.
are your jokes based off? Are they real experiences or just
I've like,
thoughts?
I went from doing a lot of one-liners to now integrating more personal stuff. But the one-liners I really like doing and they're really fun for me. And I know that they work and they're quick. But now
I think that's good for a change of pace.
it is, and it's fun. And you
Especially
can
in
just
these
put them like as transitions sometimes.
Yes.
But now like I'm trying to talk more about personal experience, and I'm trying to like figure that out because I'm dating someone and he has kids. And like, how much do I talk about? How much do I not talk about? Like that dance.
I think you should talk about it all.
Yeah.
Unless you're there legally, you can't.
Yeah.
But I do believe you should talk about it all.
Yeah.
And you always have to be writing.
Yeah.
You have, because that's what happens to comedians that kind of fade away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at my age, I like to take older guys on the road with me because we're kind of experiencing the same thing in life.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I take a super young guy, and I used to do this, everything's about pussy and all that shit, and that is the simplest sell.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like I remember I just did this show. in Arizona, and the feature was a friend of mine out of Canada, really good looking kid. And this is how good looking he was. He could do a whole 5 to 8 minute bit on stinky pussy,
No.
and everyone laughed.
Yeah.
And then
really
when I
good look.
mentioned vagina, the whole room
It
went
gets
into like
weird.
Me Too shutdown.
Yeah.
Right? And I go, oh, now I get it. I'm not young and attractive anymore. You know, the other guy's like, what's up with these stinky pussies? Women are like, well, pussies stink so much. They stink so much.
That's so
And I'm like,
fucking
what's up with the
crazy.
vagina? Boo!
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's just like different rules for different
And also,
fools.
for me, what I've been doing for writing is I'll think of a premise in LA and then I'll take it to Austin. And I'll be in Austin, like I did 5 weeks in Austin. I showed up with like ideas, and then by the time I left, they were fully formed bits.
That's
that
great.
like work just from the repetition.
Do you think Austin is real life?
In what way?
Like what you can get away with in Austin, you can get away everywhere? Like, and I mean this in a loving way, Joe Rogan is Mordor. He is the eye at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's created an environment
An empire.
in which it's like, say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And like the question is, can you take that anywhere else in the country?
That's a good question.
I think there are a lot of places you can.
I think there's more than we think. Even, you know what I mean? Because like starting in LA,
I don't think
it's
LA
different.
you can.
No, not in LA.
I you know, and all the comics
in New York,
I hear that New York is bad too.
really?
Like super woke.
It
I think
is?
whenever you get into a really big city, there becomes groupthink and conformity to move up the power structure.
Right.
And that's kind of the psyop that they did. You know, you herd everybody these big cities because that's where the opportunity is. But the opportunity only comes as long as you dance the dance with us.
Right.
And if you don't dance the dance like school, you get detention.
That makes sense.
So I think the comics at the Comedy Store, based on my age, when I was their age versus now, are way better writers.
Now?
I think they're better writers. I just think they're super corporate. Like, they're very safe.
Yes.
There's a couple guys pushing it, but the majority of it, to the point where the whole lineup is almost so safe that by the time you go up late and you just try to talk some shit, people are just weirded out. And I get it.
I get what you're saying.
And I get it
Sometimes I
because-
feel that going up late.
Instagram has their thumb on the competitive balance of comedy. Who they allow to be seen, who they don't allow to be seen.
Yeah. I believe that.
And they allow very dumb shit
To
to
be seen.
flourish.
Yeah.
And then they pound on you if you step out of line.
Like, you want to talk about airplane food? We'll push you to
Yeah,
the top,
100%. Or
sweetie.
you want to hump a stool?
Please.
We'll give you 1 billion likes.
Dude, hump a
and you
stool
walk
and then
around
drop
like
the
you're Led
mic.
Zeppelin.
That's our podcast.
That's our podcast.
Where can people find
Is it
you?
the weirdest show? I feel like I always weird out.
No, you didn't weird me out. I know what I'm getting with you.
Thank you.
My boyfriend's a member of the Swarm,
I love
sweetie.
it. I love it. I'm super happy for you. You're doing great.
You're doing
You
great.
have nobody. It's so weird. And I'll end it on this. I don't want to run too long for you, but I don't think people realize how hard it is to become a headliner.
It's insane.
Like if you think about all the people you started with, that you were running around, saw at the open mics all the time,
And you never saw again.
and how many of them actually became a working comic, headlining not just A clubs, but any fucking clubs.
Right.
It's so fucking hard. But we think it's totally normal because we're surrounded by these
People at the top level doing it. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, so when I see like you and any of the young pups I saw come up headlining, it's like so great to see because it is so hard.
It is so hard.
It is so hard to headline.
It really is, dude.
And yeah, so it's just hard, dude. It's just so congratulations.
Thank you. That means a lot. And do you have anything coming up you want to promote? This will come out on the 14th.
So I have all my dates at samtripoli.com. I'm going all over the place. I'm doing a lot of indie shows, doing some comedy clubs. I'm going to drop a really weird special. It's called Potty Mouth. It's a crowd work special, but it's like the weirdest, craziest.
Hell yeah, dude. When are you going to drop it?
I'm supposed to get the final like in a couple days, and then I'm going to decide what I want to do with it. Part of me wants to just put it behind a paywall and have fun because I got another one I did that I want to put out as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like usually I'll just find one show during the week, and it's usually late night Saturday where they're too drunk to listen to set up punches.
And you just do crowd work.
And I just OR the fuck out of them.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's weird. So that's it. My special, Why Is Everybody Getting Quiet? It's on YouTube. It's so funny. I got way more views on Twitter. I got way more views on Rumble.
So everyone says Twitter is great for that.
Twitter's great. I would put this. I'd put everything on Twitter.
Yeah.
Anything you put on YouTube, you should put on Twitter. Because it's Wild West over there. And that's why people love it. But I could only get 140. And listen, I know it's a lot compared to some, but 140,000 views on YouTube because they just throttle the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So if you're going to drop special, great place to drop a special. And the best part about dropping a special on Twitter, you can constantly keep retweeting it. So it falls into people's feeds over and over again.
Yeah.
And now they're letting you promote it. So you could like, hey, dude.
And you can say whatever you want.
You can say what? I mean, dude, a guy just saying Heil Hitler.
We saw Kanye's thing. Yeah.
But for $100, you can get 1,000 people to see your video. 100,000 people to see your video.
Yeah, that's worth it.
Yeah, why not?
Why wouldn't you? All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. I'm going to be at the Brea Improv tonight with Kim Congdon, May 14th. Come out, see that. We'll be at the Oxnard Levity Live tomorrow, May 15th. Then I will be in Detroit, House of Comedy, the 23rd and 24th. I'm really excited to do that. And that's our episode. Thank you guys so much. Bye.